Good, doesn't it? G'day guys, Ronny Dahl, Four Wheeling Australia. There's an X1N behind me and we're going to do a full comprehensive review on it. This isn't a walk around, I've done one of those already when I first picked up the trailer almost a year ago to the day. This is a good things, bad things, how it tows, and to answer these many questions that I got through social media this morning. 79 towing versus the Hilux towing this particular trailer. The 79 definitely makes it a lot easier and you barely ever notice that trailer behind the 79. You do notice it a bit behind the Hilux, especially in takeoff. You notice it in both of them when you take off from a standstill, that's fine. But when it comes to sort of off-roading, you notice it slightly more in the Hilux. On the highway, when there's a bit of wind and you've got a hill, you definitely notice it more in the Hilux than you do in the 79. The 79's got no issues towing this thing because it is so small. The heaviest I've had that trailer so far that I've been aware of has been 1,400 kilos. And right now it's probably sitting around about the same as well. But it was fully loaded. Had so much gear in it, I went down to the backs of cliffs, which is where this is going to go in just a couple of days' time. With the Hilux, how often do you get bogged towing this sort of trailer? A couple of times I got bogged when we did the Ashburton trip and a couple of other outings. You know, you're just going to be aware of it. So as soon as you start feeling like you're bogging, just stop, take more air out, and generally you'll be all right. Look, the 79, I've also got bogged towing a trailer. Depends on how soft the beach is, but in general, I mean, it's been pretty good behind both vehicles. It's a very small, compact camper trailer. Pretty low, isn't it? You never catch branches or anything with it. Now we've got the rooftop on it, it's pretty slimline. The fuel that I would get, okay, since I put 33s on, this is getting about 14.5 on the highway. Towing, 15.5 to 17, depending on winds and conditions. So it's in that vicinity. Before, when I had 31.5 inch on the Ashburton trip, I actually got 12s in the car. And with the trailer, the highest I ever got was 15. So it's quite efficient really when you think about it. And that includes off-roading. So when I say 17s or all these numbers to you, it includes off-roading, sand, rocks, slow driving and low range, and the highway to get to the destination. It is an overall fuel consumption.
I need help.
There you go. In terms of towing this trailer, well, let me get back to you on something here. A bit of an update. I'm doing 24 litres per 100 on this trip down across the Baxter. In fact, I'm putting another 50 litres into my tank right now because I've gone for 150 litres towing this trailer. The Hilux definitely feels it a lot more than the Land Cruiser does. In saying that, what we've done is there's been a lot of sand dune driving, a lot of soft beaches, a lot of low range, so I'm not really surprised. Most of the people on this tag along tour, which it is, have been using quite a bit of fuel also. The 200 is towing a different trailer and he's getting better fuel economy than the Hilux is, just because that big motor can just tow it way better.
Petrol.
What is it?
I think that's enough petrol.
It's diesel.
Oh.
No, it's still going. Bumps, I definitely feel it a lot more in the Hilux. Going on soft sand, this seems to almost feel like it's struggling a little bit. I think it needs a bit of a tune. But having said that, it did everything. I got bogged a couple of times, but I managed to get out myself. I didn't have to self-recover. I just went backwards and forwards and got back out again. So, not too bad actually. But the 79 definitely tows better. This is a grueling trip too, by the way. Let's go talk about the drawbar actually. That's an important part when it comes to towing. For those who don't know much about towing off-road, this is where it all matters. Let's go have a look. You can see it's pretty damn short. Let's quickly run through pros and cons of this size drawbar. The pros are, obstacles are an absolute breeze, and you got more awareness of when these wheels on a trailer are going to hit the obstacles that you've just gone over. Tight turns, pro. Reversing, that's the biggest con you're going to get with a drawbar this size, is reversing. You need a lot of practice, and even with practice, it takes a lot of little corrections on the steering wheel. The minute you lose it, you've lost it. It's not like a big boat trailer or something where you can just catch it back again, or like a Caravan. Caravans are easy to reverse compared to this. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but they're much easier to reverse a big trailer with a big drawbar than it is a short drawbar. I can drop my tailgate, I can get to that comfortably. I can open up the man cave quite comfortably as well with the vehicle and trailer being right here. I don't have to detach it, so if I'm going interstate or on a long drive and I'm just going to pull in somewhere because I'm doing big drives, I can just literally crawl into this and go to sleep. I don't have to detach it. I can still cook a quick meal and a barbecue and all that. We'll get to the man cave a bit later, but that gives you an idea of this. Here are the things I don't like about this drawbar. I have to remove this jockey wheel and place it here to detach it. That is probably the worst thing about this drawbar. Also, if I just pull up and I want to use the barbecue, I have to remove this bloody jockey wheel. That is the only thing I don't like about this drawbar. But as you can see, there's nowhere really to hang it, because then I'll need to extend this. And then if you extend it, then you lose the nimbleness, if that's even a word. DOT35 connection. Best connection I've ever used with towing any trailer. Any trailer. This is the best connection. It's like a spike, so it goes down, and it's much easier to line up, especially in sand. Quick tip with a DO35. Clean it up afterwards, especially if you drive around sand. If you get to take this out and leave with the trailer, that's when you park your trailer up. Put some more axle grease on it. Spot on. This is what the trailer looks like after it's been used properly. How's the suspension on the X1? It's better than the X2. The X2 was pure coil. This one is pure airbags with 2 shocks. I don't think you really need 2 shocks in any vehicle really, but it's got 2 shocks. So if one blows out, you've got a spare one, I guess. But the airbags, I was skeptical about airbags. They are great because they are much better at absorbing, like say if you hit a washout and the trailer jumps, it catches it. It doesn't keep bouncing like some other trailers that I've towed in the past. So it keeps your cargo safe. There was a cheeky question via social media. Have I broken any beers in this trailer? No, I have not broken any beers in this trailer. So one more thing I really like about this drawbar, the way it's set up. We have a water tap right here. So once you've dirtied your hands because you've been through bull dust and mud and all kinds of stuff and you detached your trailer or you hooked it up, you can simply wash your hands right here, right now. You don't have to open anything up. An interesting question which I never would have thought about. Why would you pick something like this over a Caravan? Simple answer is you can't take it off-road on these tracks that we generally do. And then some might argue, yeah, we can get an off-road caravan. Sure, you can get an off-road caravan, but the amount of weight you're towing through the bush then, through these tight tracks, and in particular, the track what you're looking at now, you've got roof height and all kinds of things to worry about. So therefore, if you're going to go off-roading, like proper off-roading, not just highway warrior and gravel road warrior, you need something like this, compact, that's rugged and can handle off-road. That's my answer to that question. This tent is on an angle. What do? Well, you can muck around and level out your trailer with max tracks and all kinds of things, but the X1 comes with the airbag suspension, which means I can level it out. Just make sure I get this right. Oh. That looks pretty level to me. That is one thing I love about this trailer, being able to level it like that. Now, if you want to level it the other way, just up and down a jockey wheel. A lot of the time I don't worry about that, because if it's hooked up to the vehicle and I might hop in there and go to sleep, I'll just level it sideways, and then I can always just put my head either that end or this end. It doesn't really matter. The favourite part of the trailer for me, the man cave. Why do I love it? Because it's got a barbecue. I love cooking with barbecues. And what's even better, this thing's on a swing away arm. So you simply just pull it out like that. And the gas bottle holders are right there and there. So you can hook it straight up to here. That's what I love about it. It's so easy to just pull out and start cooking. This is mainly just for the barbecue. I have stored fuel in here before on a previous trailer. All the man caves are all the same size to my knowledge, so 2 jerry cans will fit here, just. But I also keep all my fire cooking equipment in here, and I put the plates down here. And putting the plates down here stops the swing away arm from coming loose and unlocking and moving around, which has happened to me before. So I find that putting some heavy stuff down the bottom to prevent that latch from opening does help a bit. I'm quite hungry, so as a cameraman, so we're going to cook up some chorizo. And I thought, why not show you the kitchen area and how I use it while we're doing that. As I said, this is not really a walk through or walk around, it's more just my review, my thoughts on it, and telling you my experiences with it. You will note there's another fridge here now. And before I had a 32 litre Ingle, and it was the only Ingle that will fit because they're quite tall. The ARB Classic version, this is my first fridge I ever bought, 2009 I bought this fridge. Fits like a glove. 60 litres, no space here, bugger all space, I can't even get a finger down there, and it just fits. So I think it's safe to say this is the biggest fridge you can fit in here. So I have a mammoth amount of room now. This is where I adjusted all the air pressure. This is all the buttons here. Now what I do like about this one is the fact that the X1N, or this trailer, I didn't opt for the extra option where you get the TVMS by Red Arc, the Red Vision. I didn't want that because I found that to be almost a little bit annoying to scroll through. I like switches. On, off. Fridge off, fridge on. Fridge off, fridge on. On, off, simple. And I can see which ones are on. I don't have to scroll through anything. We've got a water meter down here. It still has the Red Arc BMS Manager 30 through it. Post-trip discussion, while I was editing the video, I realised that I hadn't spoken about how much power we actually have in this trailer. So with the BMS 30, it is paired to 220 AGM batteries. So not lithium. I would have loved to have lithium, but we have 2 AGM batteries, 240 amp hours, and it is a lot of power. I think the lowest I've had this trailer on the trip I just came back from was 76%. That was only because the Anderson plug actually came out while I was driving with the trailer. So this is the main kitchen area. I don't really use this cooker very often. There's a shot of me using, on your screen right now, me using the jet boil over this, because the minute there's a little bit of wind, and I'm getting wind from my back at the moment, this cooker is pretty useless. No wind, the cooker's fine. Just for us people over in WA though, there's a lot of wind. Windy always, as some people say. The other thing I don't like about this side, if I need to get something out of here, I'm now pushing everything out of the way. And look, it's a big area and space to cook on, or to prep food, but when you got to open this drawer, it's a bit annoying. And something I forgot to touch on was I've actually learned to use this kitchen a bit better. So, the issue that I've always had for years with using Patriot Camper trailers is this, pushing all the stuff out of the way you're trying to get to something. But what I've worked out is if you put stuff in here that you only really, well, you need it before you start prepping your food, like salt and pepper and all that, get all that out first, it's not really an issue. And how I've sorted that out for myself is this top drawer here, which is now empty because I've unloaded the trailer, but this is where Nutella, Vegemite, peanut butter, Milo, jam, all those kind of things that I frequently use when I'm making stuff is up here. And over on this side is also more kind of food stuff. So that way, this is no longer an issue. However, that said, it would be nice if they made this a tilt out, so it just tilts to here and back, and then that would eliminate this issue completely of having this losing space every time we pull it out. So there's a way around it, but there is a way it can be eliminated. Massive work area, as I just mentioned. We did rock lobsters on this in the outback recently. I've done pizzas on here. I've done all kinds of meals. Enjoy cooking, especially with the Weber. Love it. It's so easy. You can't stuff it up. To complement this kitchen, I've added a rubbish bag on the back. Now most people will just put these on their vehicles, but you know what? I actually think these suit the trailer better than vehicles, because look at the height of it. Even my kids can reach and put rubbish in it. Nice and handy. Actually, let's talk about this sink and the water system. 150 litres. As you would have seen in a walkthrough if you watched that. I have removed the gas heater. So if I turn hot on, there's no water. Why have I done that? I've done that because this pump is so powerful, you go through water so fast. And I found that when you try to heat the water up, you're wasting water trying to get it hot. And look, maybe I'm just too stupid to work out the system properly, but I decided to remove the gas heater. If we're gonna have a shower, I'll use either the Land Cruiser or the Hilux to have a shower. And I'll heat like some water, put it in a bucket. I can even heat a bucket over a fire and then put a 12-volt shower in there and then have a shower, because I have a shower tent attached to my vehicles, not to the actual camper trailer. When you go proper traveling, like most of my traveling is, like out in the bush where it's remote, you want to be conservative with your water. And that's another thing I do. So if I'm running the tap, I'll turn it off here if I've got the kids with me, because the kids are known to waste quite a few litres of water. No kids here, so I can leave it on. While lunch is cooking, I'll just open up the Airtop so you guys can have a bit of a look. And I'll tell you about that. Now, at the end, I'll come back with a more conclusive view on this tent, because I've only slept in it for 4 nights so far, but I've got a big trip coming up with the kids out onto the Baxter, and I'll be in this for almost 10 nights. The beauty about this is you can pretty much fit everything in there. Your bedding, your ladder, your pillows, pretty much everything. I'm not going to talk too much about it yet because I need to spend some more time in it. But what I can tell you right now is there's quite a bit of space here, but I'm going to bring a swag with me on the trip I'm taking the two girls with me on, because it might be too tight for three of us in here, but I'm going to give it a go. And if it's too tight, I'll use the swag and sort of alternate a little bit. We've got storage up here, we've got a touch sensitive light up here, and 3 pillows that came with it, and they fit perfectly all the way across. So that gives you an idea of the headspace each person will get inside here. So let's go to the future and see how we went.
Hi. Who are you?
What are you doing?
Playing boosters. I'm the food, she's the drinks. See, trying to open it.
So we're at Twilight Cove. This is the first bit of holiday camp. Kids are fighting. Alright, so I've got a list here of the stuff that I was meant to talk about. The tent's been really good actually. Now I did bring the swag down here. I brought the swag in case it got too tight up there. But I haven't been bothered setting up the swag because it kind of fit in there. So a 7-year-old and an 11-year-old, quite tall kids really, and myself, there's 3 of us in there. But it was good enough. Like, it didn't make me want to get my swag out at any nights. Well, I've stayed in this tent personally for about 10 days so far in total, maybe 12, thereabouts. But with the kids out here, yeah, probably 12 days in total, but with the kids out here, 8 nights. And we've still got a few more to go on the way home. Now I'll show you the inside of the tent. Touch sensitive light up here, which is pretty handy. You can open every single window, and every single window is also an entrance. And up here we got this cargo net, good for putting like PJs for the kids, my beanie, things like that. We've been finding that these pockets are pretty useful for water bottles and whatnot. Also phone, knife and all that just goes in there. But yeah, heaps of room. I just found that where these legs are, so we put the pillow further down for the kids so they can go right over. And to start with, I was sleeping in the middle, but I found that sleeping on this side was better for me. And even with my pillow here, there's enough room for me in this tent. I'm 6'1", and this tent is 2,300 long and 1.5 wide, so there's plenty of room. You can get a comfortable sleep in here. Look, there's not a lot of space with 3 people in it, but 2 people will be heaps of space. 1 person, well, you can pretty much just be like a starfish in here. Loads of room. The mattress is very firm. The kids haven't complained about it. I like firm mattresses though. My home mattress is pretty firm. So if you don't like firm mattresses, you may want to go for this different flooring, which I do have, but I've opted just to leave the really thick mattress in here. So the mattress is quite thick actually. About that thick. Welcome back again. The awning is something I skipped over. You'll notice that it's not up right now. And I'm doing a review on the trailer. Shouldn't I have it up? To be honest, I cannot be bothered setting it up. It is a pain to set up. The pros though, it's a massive area. If you're going to bunk it down for a couple of days, definitely, I would then get it out. Out here for a quick stop or anything, no way. I would rather detach the trailer, drive the Hilux around the front and use my quick awning on the Hilux rather than use this awning. I just cannot be stuffed. Post-trip about the awning. I may have been a little bit harsh about the awning. So the thing is, if you are a base camper and you're going to use this trailer to sort of be at a place for quite a period of time, like a base camp, couple of days, then this style of awning, there's no issue with it. There's no problem because you're going to take your time to set up your whole camp and you're going to take your time to pack the whole camp up at the end, because normally when you're base camping, you got stuff out everywhere because you want to use everything. But for the stuff that I do, an awning like this is something that I cannot stand or use, because you do not want to be packing this up and setting it up every single day for, you know, a quick overnight use and stuff like that. So that's why I prefer quick awnings. So I will be changing this awning soon. To what? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe like some quick sort of flip out 180 thing like I have on the Hilux, but that's what I'm thinking. Looks good, doesn't it? Just, it matches the trailer. So I like about this trailer, the looks of it as well. It's so compact. Now I'm going to talk about storage. We've got two different bits of storage here. You can kind of look at it as if it's a house. There's the bedroom. Around the front you've got the outdoor barbecue. You've got the kitchen on this side. You have the awning out. You're technically indoors if you put the walls up. But right here, let's open the garage. Garage storage, heaps of storage in there. We'll jump back to here because I want to talk about these two storage bits here. This side, we need to move the ladder. It's like on, if you put a rooftop on it. We have storage here and we have storage here. Before we go back to the garage, I use this compartment here for the chemical toilet. There's a Chemloo, keep a water bucket in here and a ground sheet. So all the dirty gear just sits in there. Gas heater was that I've removed. This side is, I would call the general storage, also easy access to get to, apart from when you have the ladder up. In here I'd normally keep clothing. If I'm taking the girls with me, they have everyone have their individual bag actually stacked up here. But also we're going to store some food in here. So this crash pod here has the remnants of the last trip I did with this trailer. There's a few empty bags in here too, because right now it's not doing a trip. It will be soon though. Welcome back to the holiday camp. I'm squinting because it's bloody bright here. This is how I've set up the kids with their clothing and whatnot. So clear top bags up here. So you generally put clothing in these Patriot bags here, and then these bags on top, it's just whatever else they can fit. So eldest daughter decided to bring more clothes, youngest a few toys, a bit of medication. That's pretty much what we use this for. And then a snack station. So easy to get to snacks while we're at camp. That's pretty much how this has been used. The garage. What do you normally store in your garage? Your camp chairs, your camp tables, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of the same thing that I do right here, right now. But this box that you see right now, which will be from our trip, is storing a lot of food. So it's these new front runner wolf packs. They're watertight, they're air sealed. That is what we keep our food in. Some more post-trip inspection here. This is a wolf pack I was talking about. Now we had too much fun when we were on the tag along there. There were a few things that I forgot to film because we're having so much damn fun. So this is the new wolf packs that I'm using. These are by Front Runner, as you can see there. There's a big Front Runner badge on it. This is what I use to carry, well, this one in particular, cans. There's a bit of evidence of it here, the circles, their giveaway there. So cans of water, cans of drink, cans of beer, cans of fizzy. And the second box had all the food, like the extra food, the bulky stuff, keep bread a bit longer, wraps, those kind of bulky things that I couldn't fit in the pantry. Now, as the pantry was sort of being used up, I'll grab out of here and put in there. And then to stop things rattling around, I'll just whack in like a dirty towel or something that wouldn't contaminate the food, of course, but something to stop things from rattling around. And that was our solution, or my solution, to keep our things pretty safe. Now, the cool thing about these new style boxes, they have this rubber seal on here. Now, you will note there's a bit of sand in there, but that's from opening them and closing them and standing on them, the kids using them and whatnot. So that's how I now keep my food safe, or keep it stored inside the X1N in a garage. This is also where I store the Skid Row. Don't mix it up with the band though, the old music band, if you're old enough to know who that was. The skid row, this sits on your jockey wheel. Now there will be an image of that on your screen. This is a must-have, yes, a must-have if you're camping on sand and you want to ditch your trailer on sand. Also for recoveries. This is mainly designed for recoveries actually, but I mainly use this for the jockey wheel. It's so much easier to hook your trailer back up again, because after a while your jockey wheel can sink into the sand. I used to use breadboards, believe it or not, but then your kind of jockey wheel kind of edges its way off the breadboard, or the breadboard goes sideways, and then it's a real pain to get the trailer hooked up again. Massive storage area. One con about this storage area, it's hard to reach to the back, but that comes with the pro of having extra storage, right? Because you can put bodyboards, sandboards, which you also do put in here. But one thing that needs to be improved, and I hope Patriot are watching this, Justin, your switch for this light in here.
This is the garage storage, which is a diabolical mess at the moment. The light switch in there is right at the back, so I'm going to need one of the kids to crawl in there and switch it on. Actually, let's do that now. Okay, let's hit that switch in there for me.
Yeah. Oh, this could be my bed, look.
Yeah.
I'm turning the light off.
No,
Say, look at me.
On. Ready?
Ready?
Yeah.
Look, Sienna.
Hannah, I actually fell when I was carrying the bucket.
Thank you.
Why do you need it on?
Well,
Just want to turn it off.
Because every time the cargo bounces, it hits the light, and I can't reach that far.
What are you going to do when you turn it off?
No, I can turn it off at the trailer.
How?
The plugs. Yeah, the switches. The light switches.
The drawer system, absolutely awesome. There's enough room for a tripod, lengthwise. Also, if you want to put like a long axe in there, and you do get dividers. So on this side, I've got the dividers in here, and I've just got general tools and a bit of fire cooking stuff, and just things to get to really quick. So that's what's pretty much in the garage. Back on a holiday camp, so we're halfway out, almost at the highway. I thought I'd just talk about the tyre pressure that I've been running on the X1N. So being 1400 kilos, we've been rolling with, what is it, 15 PSI for the most part, off-road. I'm now airing up a little bit because we've got this really rocky country up to about 25 on the Hilux. I'm not touching the trailer yet because 15 PSI is still pretty good. Once we get to the highway, I generally run the trailer with 33s on it and mud tyres at about 30 PSI. The vehicle about 40 PSI. So it's quite a lot trailer in that aspect.
Welcome back to my YouTube channel.
I had one breakage with one of these snapped off, but fortunately we got these two compartments down here, so I stole that one and zip tied it just till I get home to replace that. Now these tend to come off after about a year's worth of corrugation and hard use. These will pop off, snap right there.
What's better, the X1N or the X2? That's a bloody good question. Let's talk about the difference first. The main difference is on the X2, the kitchen came out the back, which is the bit I didn't like about it. But the side storage was longer, but the trailer was shorter. So this part was further over, you lost half of this section, and you gained more of that section. So you didn't have the access on the sides, you didn't have the fridge on the side. That's the main difference. I prefer the layout on the X1N for sure. It blows the X2 out of the water when it comes to the layout. Look, they're very similar in many ways, like the man cave on the front, the whole setup. Look, this does have the airbags. I would generally say that the X1N is better than the X2, which goes against everything that I thought at the beginning, because I first towed an X1 GT. I had it for a week or 10 days. I towed it across the Amberdale Highway. And then later on, I got my hands on an X2, which I had for 2 years. and used that thing thoroughly and enjoyed it as well. Put it through a lot of different tracks all over Australia. That was a bloody good trailer, but I prefer this. The X1N is better than the X2. That's how I'm going to conclude that argument, or that debate. It's not an argument, it's a debate. So who does an X1N trailer suit? That's a very good question. Let me think on that one. Look, definitely families, but I think the X1H is probably better for families of 4 if you all want to stay in the same tent. Because here's the thing, when we go camping, when we do our annual Christmas camping before Christmas happens and everyone's out busy, freaking out shopping, we take the whole family down to a special lake and we camp there. What happens is, me and the missus, we take the rooftop. The kids will be in a swag on the ground, which suits us fine. But if you want everything in one, then I would suggest you get an X1H, because you have a tent that pops up automatically, that folds out, and you can fit your kids down the bottom, fit mum and dad at the top, and there's a lot more room in that tent as well. But if you're just a couple, perfect. That's all you need. It's all right there, especially if you combine it with like a tent like this. So this tent is brilliant. The way it pops up, there's so much room, you can sit up and get changed in it. It's a great equipment trailer as well. So there are multiple uses you can do. So the X1N, if you want to put a pop top on it, that's probably the trailer you want to get. If you want to use it to put swags and equipment on it, that's probably the trailer you want to get. But if you want a whole family camping with 4 people, that's probably not the trailer you want to get. You want to get an X1H, because that has everything in it. So that's where I'm going to leave you with the thoughts, and thanks for watching.